guys, what is up? It has been a whole whopping 4 months, I think, something like that. Oh dear lord. I was gonna make a video about Stacked, but it just didn't happen. I don't even have a reason why it didn't happen, because I just don't know. Anyways, the last video was about finding a fuel leak in the 240. That was such a simple fix, it was ridiculous. Been having problems since, so that's what this video is kind of going to be about. I've been sick for the past 2 days and off work, so I'm just kind of taking advantage of that time. So, getting into the issues that my car has been having, it kind of all started with Stacked, which is unfortunate to say because I was super excited for that event. Stacked 2018. The first day, I had to work half the day. I think I was on second shift, so I only got to drift in the morning. And in reality, I only got about a half an hour of drifting out of it. Did a couple laps, and all of a sudden, shut my car off and forget what we were going to do. We were going to do something, and the car just shut off. Well, no. We turned the car off, and the car wouldn't turn back on. So we were going through stuff. I had to leave for work. I didn't have time to sit there and play around with it. I was irritated, and I was even more irritated that I had to go to work, because I don't know how many of you guys that follow me know me, or know how far I drive. It's a 2-hour drive for me to get to Pocono, so I had to leave Pocono and drive 2 hours to come back to work, and I still had to drive back up for the next 2 days of the event. Not complaining, totally worth it, I do it all the time, but it kind of sucked, like, having those 2 hours to brood about the fact that my car broke down. Anyway, getting out of that, shout out to my boyfriend George, for spending the whole day while I was at work trying to fix my car for me. We were kind of dumb, we didn't start, like, down at the basic level of what could be wrong, or we were asking people what could have happened, and we wound up breaking into, let's replace the starter. So he ripped my starter out while I was at work and put a new starter in, or new to me starter, I guess I should say. So next morning I come back up, try to start the car still doesn't start. Okay, cool. Starter's not the problem. Our buddy Andrew came that day, and we started really breaking into the basics, which why we didn't do that the first day, I don't understand. We were kind of dumb in this aspect. But we found out that the safety switch to my car wasn't getting hit. At some point in that morning of the first day, I snapped the little plastic piece off of the clutch tab. I don't even know what the technical name for this is. It's just what I'm calling it. But it popped off. So we threw some electrical tape on it and tried to fire up the car, and the car started. So we were good. Ran it for the entire second day. I was happy, I was progressing, I linked turns, I, actually shredded off my first pair of tires. I can actually say I've officially done that. I was running the same pair of tires on the back all of the season, pretty much. Stacked is when I finally did well enough to burn them off, and I was actually pretty proud of myself for that. So day 2 went off without a hitch. Day 3 of Stacked. Oh boy, day 3. Got through pretty much the entire day, other than the fact that it was really, really cold. But we went over to get merch from the actual, like, the other side of Stacked, because we were over on the skid pad. I'm a C group driver, because it's my first year drifting. But I threw my friend Dan my keys because I forget what happened to his car, but his car wasn't starting. So I was like, alright, cool, here, just go drive mine, I don't care. So we came back from getting merch, and my car was sitting off to the side with the hood up. I'm automatically sitting there thinking, oh god, what now? Car broke down completely. Car wouldn't start at all. They tried jumping it, they tried doing a whole bunch of different stuff. Nothing. So this was 2 hours before the end of Stacked Motorsports 2018. I was like, alright, cool, you know what? I don't even care. It lasted a majority of the weekend. It's cool. Not even mad about it. Trailered the car home, and honestly, it sat for a couple months. I don't have an excuse for why I didn't work on the car. I just kind of didn't feel like it. Um, it just kind of sat until last month. And I started recording videos last month to post, but they either wound up being too short, or we had this heater going in the garage and you couldn't hear me. It drowned me out because it's one of those propane things. And it just, there was no sound and I couldn't deal with it. So I just literally trashed all the footage. So that happened. Well, we went through last month, and a video that didn't get posted, we figured out what was wrong. I blew my starter relay and I blew my ignition fuse. Replaced the ignition fuse, borrowed a relay from something. I don't even know what we borrowed it from. We just kind of plugged and played for a little bit. So anybody that's got a 95S14 fuse box diagram, I will totally buy that off of you because I don't have one. I don't even know what relay I borrowed. I just know that, you know, whatever I borrowed, it worked. The car starts, the car runs. So, but yeah, if anybody's got one of them diagrams, let me know, because I don't know where mine went. Anyway, so we replaced those fuses, car fired right up, we're good. My car needs a new battery, though. That is the one thing we did discover, is that I definitely need a new battery for this drift season. My battery is from December of 2016. So that's a pretty old battery at this point. Especially for all the abuse these cars take. So that's pretty much where my car sits right now. Breaking out of that for a second, we are going to break in to this drift season that is coming up. Stacked 2019 is scheduled. RSD 2019 is scheduled. I haven't looked at any of the other schedules because I don't hit Club Loose and I don't really do Drift Evergreen. I've spectated Evergreen. I've never been to Club Loose. I would really like to change that this year. I'd like to at least do one event just so I can, like, understand what Club Loose is like. I've never even spectated that. Driving to Jersey is not just, like, something I can just do really simply. Pocono's just always been easy for me. So, anyways, that is all planned for this year. I need to go through and figure out what all I can and cannot hit. I work every other weekend, so I'm currently going through everything, trying to figure out what events I'm going to hit this year. But I'm going to try to hit as many as I can, even if I have to take vacation time. So anyone that didn't go to Stacked last year or wanted to and didn't, go this year. Stacked was absolutely amazing. I don't even care that my car broke down. It was still absolutely worth it. So much fun. I can't even tell you how great it was. And it was the first one ever. Like, imagine how great this year's going to be. This is going to be the second one. So if you want to go, definitely go. So now that I got that out of there, the plans for the 240 for this year, we are going to strip my car. And hopefully there will actually be a video of that. We're going to strip all the carpeting out. We're going to go through and check some grounds because we're trying to figure out why my car keeps blowing all these fuses. Because I blew a headlight fuse apparently at one point. So we want to figure out why my car is blowing all these fuses, and we're going to just, since we have to strip it anyways, we're just going to check all the grounds. What we are stripping it for, we have a friend of ours that is going to go through and weld my car. I have some rust holes in different places. I think I've got 2 holes in my floor. I have a wheel well that needs welded. My strut tower was already done before Stacked, but I had about a hole about this big in my strut tower, so that got fixed. But my car is just, it's got a lot of rust. So hopefully, virtually when it's done, it'll be pretty much rust-free. So hopefully it'll be a relatively clean chassis again. So that's the plan with that. I know for a fact that we need to figure out what is up with my steering. We're going to go through the rear bushings and things like that. Last year, one of the things that we noticed was my car does not exactly respond when you try to counter steer and go back the other direction again. It kind of locks itself into one position. Um, so we're going to try to figure out what's up with that. We're going to do the rear bushings and steering racks and different things like that. We're going to go look at all of it. Speaking of steering issues, for anybody that's been keeping up with me knows that I've been bending my tie rods. We fixed that problem. Turns out that my coilovers, and I can't tell you what coilovers were on the car, but my coilovers were bottomed completely out. I didn't do it, so I don't know who did. Not really worried about it, but they were bottomed completely out. There was not a single gap at all. So we lifted that about 1.5 inches, give or take. And once we did that, we replaced the tie rod, and I haven't bent one since. So clearly that was the problem. And the car really doesn't look higher at all. I think it rides a little bit better too. So it's been running great on tie rods since we did that. Eventually, right now it's got 2 different coilovers on the front. So we need to get a new top piece for the driver's side. I think is the one that we didn't switch out. But we did raise it and evened it up to match. So once we do that, we're going to put the other new to me coilover in, and that should solve that problem completely. As for other steering things, there's not really much else that we need to do. We just want to try to figure out why my car doesn't respond. One thing that I'm doing because I just want to do it, I kept joking that I wanted to get a steering wheel for my car that was neochrome for my 24th, God, it's hard to believe that I'm already there, 24th birthday. Boyfriend came down and got me this. I have a Type R steering wheel for my 240 now, hub included, which is pretty cool. So I can't wait to take the stock steering wheel out and put that in. And it's purple too, which is cool because I want to have like a green-purple color scheme for my car, I think. I haven't fully decided yet. Eventually the car is probably going to get repainted. I know it needs new over fenders, but we're not even going to discuss how that happened. But yeah, I have a steering wheel to put in at some point. It's not that my steering wheel doesn't work. I like it. I didn't want my stock steering wheel anymore. And I can't believe he found me a steering wheel for my birthday. Wow. But, so yeah. Shout out for last year and him fixing my car and anything else that happened. Can't wait for Stack 2019, RSD 2019. I just can't wait for 2019 drift season, period. Like, I'm just excited for it. Now that I actually started progressing a little bit and, you know, really learning, it's exciting for me. And I've slowly been getting into the mechanics of things and replacing things on my own. I don't know. I just feel like I fit, finally. Like, where I need to be. So, I will try to make videos as things happen. I know I keep saying that, and I keep failing at it, but I'm gonna make a better attempt at it this year. I just need to remember my camera half the time, which is kind of the problem. Once the weather gets warmer, everything gets so much easier for me. And hopefully I won't spend so much time sick, because I'm not gonna lie, this kind of sucks. But that's all I've got for you guys right now. Not a whole lot has been happening. The car's been sitting, just waiting for things to get done, because I don't like working in the cold. So as things get done, there should be videos, hopefully. I hope to make a video of us stripping the car before it goes into welding, and I hope to make videos of every event this year that I hit. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in the next video.